Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. If you need a roof, make sure you call Ireland Contracting. All those guys over there are huge Pirates fans. They have Bucko fever. Not only that, they put on a nice roof, and they not only do roofs, they do siding, windows, gutters.
Oh, I had 26,000? Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, 26,000. I don't. They might have 26,000 employees over Ireland.
Oh, you're talking about Ireland Contracting.
Yeah, Ireland Contracting.
I forgot. Okay.
Yeah, they do everything there. And they might have been at the game tonight. 1-800 new roof. Ireland Contracting. Trust me, give them a call. I'm going to have them do my sun porch. Give us a call right now, 412-575-2600. So I set the over-under of attendance tonight at 33,000, just my own over-under. I was way over, and I would have taken the over at 33. They only had 26.
Yeah, that's disappointing.
Yeah, I think really disappointing. And
especially since we read all this stuff about how they sold 9,000 tickets between, when Archer was traded for. So you're telling me that there was only 17,000 people coming to this game before they traded for Chris Archer?
Yeah, and I heard those numbers, 7,000 to 9,000 walk-up crowd they were expecting today. So if you add that to it, then that's even more. But here's what I'm thinking. A couple things. The Steelers night practice had 10,000. Maybe some of the fans would have went to the Pirate game. Also, we got Gata Regatta. The regatta going on downtown, and walking outside of our studios, there's a ton of people out there. So maybe a few thousand there. They could have been at 33,000. But I still expected more. I thought this was a huge game. Like, I thought there was so much hype around this game that more people would have showed up. But maybe maybe there's still some.
That there's still a lot of fans out there that are skeptical.
Yes, I think so. Because when you look at it, maybe this is smoke and mirrors still. They only added, 2-point-some million. They gave up basically a couple prospects. One that didn't work out.
I think
and Austin Meadows was blocked.
What they did is good. I think what they did is good.
Too.
But the question is, are they good enough to make the playoffs? And I think a lot of people still think they're not.
I don't think they make the playoffs, Paul. If you had to ask me right now, I don't think they make the playoffs this year, but they are much better next year. And I think there's going to be a lot of optimism next year.
If they do the right things. Again, they've got to do the right things. Here's my thing. They're not a lot better if they don't have Corey Dickerson.
Well, they have to pick up. They have to
at least pick up his option. Yes. What's his option?
Well, he's going to go to arbitration. So what is he going to get in arbitration?
Yeah. That's coming off the season he's coming.
10-12 million.
Maybe 12 million.
So they're going to have to sign him.
They're going to have to pay him.
Yes, they're going to have to pay him, or they don't have a left fielder. You're not going to start Jordan Luplow out there.
And that's the problem with the Pirates. Okay, you went out and got Archer. You went out and got Keller. Good. Guess what? Going into this offseason, you need Corey Dickerson in left field.
Yes.
If they go into next year and their left fielder is Jordan Luplow, people are going to be like, "This is the same nonsense."
Yeah.
Now you've actually put yourself in position where next year can be a really good season, but you've got to make sure that you bring Corey Dickerson back.
Do you think they'll even make an attempt to try to sign him long term, maybe 3-4 years or something like that?
I think at his age, probably not. But to me, here's my thing: if they could get him to buy out next year, say, "Okay, listen, we're going to give you a 3-year deal that starts next year," which means only 3 more seasons, as opposed to, okay, you go to arbitration and then 3 years on top of that. But if it was like, say, 3 years with a club option that wipes out next year's, so in other words, you have them for the next 3 years, they should think long and hard about doing
what kind of price, though? I mean, he's going to want $10 million.
I mean,
is he worth $10 million?
It's probably going to be more than that, I would think, right? $12 million. 30 years, $36 million, something like that.
I don't know if I would sign him for knowing that you have Martin and Reynolds in the minors and maybe a couple. They got some depth in the outfield. Maybe you just gamble and go with the 1-year arbitration and have them play next year in left field and then get some of those younger guys up here. That's probably what I would
do. It for 1 year. I mean, again, I guess so. But to me, and then you go into the thing where they're going to lose him for nothing at the end of next season, which means if their next trade deadline next year, 5-6 games out, they're going to trade him.
They're going to have to trade him.
And then you'll have Jordan Luplow as your left fielder, and that's not good enough.
And can you figure out why Jordan Luplow led off yesterday? I mean, I'm still trying to figure that out.
Can you figure out why they had Luplow, Osuna, and
Rodriguez?
Rodriguez.
I don't understand. I don't understand that. But.
It makes no sense.
All right, let's go out to the phone lines. We got Bob out in Clearfield. How you doing, Bob?
Hi, gentlemen. Thank you for taking my call. To get to the point quickly, what we saw here tonight makes me even more fearful, and maybe some other people fearful that Chris Archer in the National League is going to be a bullpen killer. He's a fastball slider type of pitcher rather than the turbo sinker and changeup that you need to put the ball on the ground in the National League. Now, I know he said that Chris Archer is not Chris Sale, but let's hope that what he didn't get was another Ian Snell. So that's what I'm thinking about. It concerns me. I hope he could adapt to the National League game much more quickly than we would like to see.
Hey, Bob, thanks a lot. I mean, I think it would have had a good game if it wasn't for a couple the defense in the fifth inning.
The defense is bad.
Yeah.
That was, he got himself into some jams.
He did, but he got out of them.
It was his first game. Like I said, he's probably amped up, this, that. Let's wait a few games before we decide what he is.
I'm excited about it. I like it. The rotation is so
I think
much
the
better.
rotation is better. You got you got Kingham out of there. Now everybody is slotted where they're supposed to be.
And if Cole comes back,
you've got Tyon now as your second guy instead of your first. You've got Trevor Williams is probably your fourth guy now. Nova is probably your third instead of your second. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like all of a sudden, everybody's slotted where they're supposed to be. Tyon probably is not an ace, but he's a really good second. If he's your number two, all of a sudden your staff is really good. You've got, who's
Musgrove.
Musgrove is your fifth guy. Go around the National League. There's probably not many teams that have
a five guy
better than Musgrove. Well, they're all probably very
When
similar.
Cole gets healthy, he'll probably go to the bullpen, which I think he's a better fit for the bullpen.
Right, if he gets healthy.
If he gets healthy. Let's go out to the other Bob in Bloomfield. How you doing, Bob?
Rich and Paul, how are you tonight?
Good, thanks.
All right, about the Bucco hysteria this week, there was Senator Pond getting the deal to bring Archer here. I didn't hear one person, Rich or Paul, in the media talk about this team plays brutal defense. The game was so horrible tonight because
he talks about it all the time.
Defensive teams in baseball, you have to be able to field the ball to win at this level, and especially get into the playoffs and maybe do some damage.
Hey, Bob, I appreciate the call, but we've talked about this. We went around the whole team, not only today, but other shows. I remember us talking about how bad the corners are.
I've been saying about it all year.
I think they're still
good
good defensively up the
times.
middle.
They're not, but they're really good in center field.
Well,
they're average at second and short. That's about as good as I'll give you. I'll concede they're average at second and short. And at first and third, I think you cannot find a worse combination defensively at first and third than Bell and Moran. They're in the National League.
And then throw right field.
You throw right field into the mix, and you got a disaster out there too. I mean, they're brutally bad defensively, and that's what they are. And that's one of the reasons I said they're going to have a hard time getting to the playoffs. They give away too many outs. You know what I mean? You start getting into tough games, and you give away outs. They almost gave this one away. They should have won this game going away, and they almost gave it away because they can't field balls.
But is their offense good enough to make up for the defense?
Right now, they're hitting. But, they're going to go through a streak where they maybe go 25 games where they're struggling to hit. Then all of a sudden, you got a problem. Right now, they're in a groove. Those guys are hitting. Polanco's hitting. These guys are hitting. But they're going to go through a strike. I mean, that's baseball.
Especially against the good teams.
But it's just baseball. That's the way it goes. So to me, you better be able to not give away outs. And they give away too many outs.
Yeah, it was a little disappointing. I mean, it's disappointing for me to see someone like Jordy Mercer struggle tonight in that era. That's what you don't want to see. You expect it from Polanco or Bell or Moran.
Are you going to have Newman as your shortstop next year or somebody like that? Or who's going to be their shortstop next year?
I mean, I would try to do what I can to sign Jordy Mercer for a 1-year, 2-year deal. I don't know if he would do it. I don't know what his value is on the market. I mean, how much is he going to get? He's making $6 million now, and a lot of the teams out there all the good teams have pretty good shortstops.
I don't think they're going to pay him, though.
I don't either. I mean, I guess
maybe
Newman's your guy.
Him for 2 years, maybe, but
that's what I was thinking, like a Clint Barmas kind of deal. He's going to work in Newman.
See, I think Mercer is serviceable if you've got enough good players around him. He's a serviceable shortstop. He's okay.
Maybe the big question is, do they pick up Josh Harrison's option next year?
No, I cannot.
I think they should.
No way. No way.
It's not your money, Paul.
But again, he's not played well, number one. Number two, that's $10.5, $11 million that you can use to make your team better. I think he's,
And who plays second?
I think he's a nickel and dimer. Honestly, I think you're better off having a guy like Frazier there, or bring Newman up, or one of those guys. Have one of those guys play second, You know, but the bottom line is they're going to have to put some money into their middle infield next year.
Yeah.
And they're also going to have to put some money into left field. And if they don't, then we're going to be talking about a team that's 83 wins or 84 wins, and you know I have no interest in that.
And the guy we're forgetting about, and we'll talk more about him after the break, is Young-Ho Kang, who's going to be out for basically the rest of the season, but he's another option in the middle infield next year. All right, back in a couple minutes.